thought I was dying. And then she said, it might be that you are in perimenopause. Good morning, you. It all started a few months ago when I started bleeding like a lot. And it was not my cycle, I thought, because it was only like 12 days after my previous cycle. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just an early cycle, not to think about it. I try not to think about it too much. And after a few hours, it started to pick up, and so much to the point that my towel, like I had my regular pads. I'll show you if I can insert it here. And that was not enough. Put on period underwear on top of that. That was not enough. Put a towel under that. That was barely enough. And I sincerely thought I was going to bleed to death. But it was late at night, and I thought I don't want to sit in the emergency room and then for them to tell me it's just my cycle. So I decided to tell my husband, and also to try to explain to him, like, if you see I start to get pale or respond slowly, or if I faint or so, then he should take me to the emergency room. I have a background as a physician, by the way, but I'm retired on illness grounds. So that was the agreement, and I thought, okay, I'm going to see it for a few hours, and if not, we should definitely go to the emergency room, because it was like once every hour I had to like change the entire situation. Besides that, I've started to have like other issues like hot flashes, brain fog. I forget things. Like the other day I couldn't find my phone, and my husband actually kind of jokingly, but not really jokingly, said, have you checked the fridge? Because I find my phone in random places, drawers, food drawers. I've also started to gain weight, started to have aches and pains in all random places I didn't even know I had the option to have pain. So I thought, what's going on? Anyway, I go to the doctor. I made an appointment. I decided to wait it out. The following day, it was starting to become less. So I made a regular appointment, not an emergency appointment. And when I get there, we went through my cycle. It had always been very regular. So she thought, well, since it's only happened once, and now it's kind of stopped on its own, let me know if in 2 months it's come back within 2 months, then you should make an appointment. But 2 months went by and nothing really changed. So I thought, okay, maybe it was just one time fluke, maybe it was stress. And then I got my cycle again after 5 months. It's almost 5 months now. Got it again. It was not as like dramatic as last time, but it's the second time was kind of weird. And then after that, I didn't get any for a month or so. And I made an appointment to get like a female body check, my pap smear and so on. Everything looked normal. The only thing she noticed was that like I'm super like really dry, and my thyroid levels could not explain that level of dryness and so on. So she's gotten to the conclusion that it might be my perimenopause, or most likely is, because everything else seems normal. And she also suggested that maybe I should start with HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. So because of my family history, I'm a little bit reluctant to do so. I might consider it. It is a small dose compared to getting like regular birth control pills. I don't take those, by the way, but it's much smaller dose. And even though I have a relative or family history, actually more than one, with a history of breast cancer, it's not necessarily a cause for me not to do it. And just a quick disclaimer, even though I'm a physician, this video is not to be medical advice. I'm coming as a woman in her 40s. Experiencing changes is not medical advice. If you have issues with like this, please contact your own doctor. So yeah, so I thought I should make a video because no one had ever talked to me. I mean, I went to med school. Most of my teachers, they were male. I think I had like 2 female teachers, maybe 3, and no one had prepared. Like I knew about menopause, but we kind of focused on, okay, women either have a period or they don't. We didn't have a lot of training in that part in between, and back then we didn't talk that much about HRT anyway. So I thought I would make this video for other women who might be experiencing that period between having regular cycles and official menopause, and all the changes that your body goes through. I mean, I don't intend that all my videos to be about perimenopause and menopause and so on, or about illness in general. I also have some other issues, but I just wanted to comment on this and share with other people that this is actually part of that transition. And after you've made sure that there's nothing else that can explain it, like your pap smear and all that. I had a pap a few days ago, by the way. If you have not tried it, I mean, it's a little bit, you know, if you're a little bit squeamish like me, but now this is, I've done it a few times. I'm not as embarrassed as before. It was cool and ticklish. That's all I can say right now. But yeah, and after making sure that there's no other explanation, if it's perimenopause, talk to someone, talk to a good friend, or talk to maybe you have your mom alive or someone who has gone through it, and ask questions, because for some reason a lot of women before our generation didn't talk about it. I wish they did. I wouldn't have been so terrified when these things started to happen. I wouldn't have thought I was bleeding out to death and dying, and I would have maybe been a little bit more prepared for that. Okay, this can happen in this time of life. But yeah. What about you? If you feel comfortable sharing in the comment section, if you've gone through these kind of changes, if you're in perimenopause or if you're in menopause, do you remember what your last periods were like? If you feel comfortable, let us share that experience in the comments. But if you don't, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you could watch along, and I just want to let you know you're not the only one. I might once in a while mention how it's going. Yeah. I hope this is helpful. I'll try to share as much as possible without being gross or anything, of how things are going. And yes, if you like this kind of calm video, not too much shouting, no music in the background, maybe a little bit environmental noise, make sure to subscribe, and we can follow along each other's journeys. If you enjoy this kind of calm video and want to stay a little bit longer with me, YouTube is about to suggest a similar video to this right here. I hope you enjoy.